Hello friends, very good evening. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Talent Traders. Myself Bala here and welcome you all to my channel. And this video, I'm just going to discuss about my advanced option strategy. It's a positional strategy content. So where we are going to discuss some 5 strategies on that course and how effectively we using that in a live market. So the main concept of the strategy and what are the types of strategy which you are using, so that I'm going to discuss. And the logics I'm not going to discuss here because it is a course content. And how we are picking out the stocks, the main intent of this course. So where you can pick some 3 to 5 stocks in a month. So not for a day, not for a week. In a monthly basis, how we can selecting some 5 different stocks for positional trading. And we have some filter methodologies on that. So based on some expected movement and based on the profit percentage, what we are expecting, and based on some quality stocks like there is a blue stocks. So this is a December monthly IV sheet, which I mentioned this data on the first of before 1st of December. Okay, so that is last trading session of the previous month we are updating, and these are all the stocks which I am expecting some good movement in the month of December. So here this blue stock which I filtered, maybe I'm expecting some good movement in the stock. And if you are following this stock, and you will be able to find out a breakout. So that breakout, you know well how we are calculating the breakout, which is going to break the levels in options, particularly the same strike price which we have selected for the monthly basis. So some people who understood only Google Sheet. Google Sheet is one of the scanner which we can use for our positional strategy as well as intraday breakout like Camarilla, R4 breakout and narrow Camarilla. So in my positional strategy, without a Google Sheet, we can easily access our strategy with free tools. So that I'm going to discuss fully in this video. And if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe the channel. So these are all the stocks which I am just selecting for this month, some 11 stocks for this month from this IGL 330. So how do I find out IGL? From this list of stocks, I'm just tracking, and we have the concept where the entry point or the breakout point we should easily finding out. And we are checking the data with the NSE. For an example, IGL. So we are mentioning somewhere around 24-25 should be our entry point. So here there is an opportunity which triggers here. Okay, on 3rd December. So, but we are tracking the stock from the 1st December, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So, like that. So, this month is started by the 2nd December, and 3rd December we have an entry in IGL. And at the time there is a liquidity. Why now it was not a liquid one? Because right now it is a deep in the money. Okay, so deep in the money, and the premium is currently 64 from 24, now to 64. It is more than 3 times. So then what are the stocks which triggers from this list? But I'm just tracking, so you know well you can filter, or you can put alerts on your trading platforms. Then whenever it triggers based on the concept, the breakout point, when it is triggers, that will be alerting you. You can just make the opportunity. One more filter which also we used, there is no much more stocks for the month, and a profit vector basis also we can filter out almost Gujarat Gas and TV, something like that. But even though the stocks which triggers our breakout one, then it will be a more perfect one. So instead of I'm just talking about the directional trade point of view, non-directional trade, so you can plan with the non-directional also. But in this case, I'm just talking about directional. So you can find out the directional trades from this whenever it gives you the breakout point. And we are having some 5 different strategies. We can use any of the strategies at the breakout point. Okay, so for example, here is the breakout point on this. It is a valid breakout also. We can use the 2.1 strategy, 3.2 kind of strategy at this point, or we can use the SBB strategy, one more strategy for edging base. So these two are edged, and 4 strategies totally edged, and SBB, FO strategy, and OTM strategy, or even ADM. So any one of the strategy which we can apply at this point. This is what a trigger. So this trigger only we are finding out with the Google Sheet. Okay, so someone was asking, while I'm taking the Google Sheet, can I do the positional strategy? You can do your own strategy. So because that Google Sheet is act as a scanner for positional either weekly or monthly or even intraday. Intraday is normally R4 breakout. But if you are following a weekly sheet, and you should use any of the strategy which you are following, maybe indicator based or any logic based, whatever the thing. So you can go for a top listed stocks and the Google Sheet scanner, and you can apply your own strategy. But if you know already our strategy, any of our hedge strategy or even naked strategy which you can apply. So but we have to find without any indicator. So based on the calculations we finding out the breakout point. So that is the key point where you are learning on our session. Okay, so here this month we have almost 46 stock, 45 FO stocks added, but in our tool it is not showing, we are not updated. So the newly added F&O stocks not added. So because our calculation and the IV and other factors, it's a historical data. So but the newly added future doesn't have an historical data. So why we are not adding any other newly added stock? But this month we have a lot of opportunity which triggers on the newly added stocks. Okay, so let me track. So this is what a base method and static data. So which we have added on the day one, that is before the start of the every month. So by using this data, so we can filter out 3-4 methods to find out the stocks. So one more method by the using a charting scanner. So this particular dashboard will help you to find out the breakout stocks. How do I find out a breakout stocks? And this sheet is going to update a daily basis. And if you are tracking the sheet from the day one, that means the first of every month, so you will see what are the stocks which is triggering or what are the stocks which is moving, that you know very well. So where the strike price, and for example these are all the stocks from this list. So a lot of opportunity which is trigger like IGL, BSE, CDSL, Angel One, Max Health and Policy Bajar, RBL. So these are all the stocks which trigger. Manappuram also recently it moves down and now almost 13% recovered for the month. We keep it daily del delivery. Okay, so these are all the stocks. From this list, you can look at this. The VDL is the world one, and Manappuram is the world one, and RBL is the world one, and maybe IGL is the world one. So out of 10 plus stocks, the 4 stocks are only world one. So remaining all are new stocks that is working good, and it will always achieve our target for the month of December also within 10-11 days before of the month. So BSE, CDSL, Angel One, Max Health, Policy Bazaar, and KP Tech, KPI Technologies, Skiped Technologies. So these are all the new stocks. 246 stocks among this list are the new. And put side also you can see there is a Wipro maybe dividend or something. So 46%. So Adani Green, ATL. So there are also newly added stocks. Adani and so these are all the stocks which given you opportunity. For an example, I just randomly checking from this beginning of the month, I may be finding out our breakout opportunity. Let me check a BSE 4700. So what would be our breakout point and how it works? BSE 4700, that should be the strike price, and you know well how we can effectively use our strategy. And this is what a 15 minutes I will use for a 1 hour time frame to find out this one. Okay, so almost this particular strike price near about 200, 400 is our breakout point. So here is the 400 rupees almost this particular candle 10:15 to 11:15. So let me check a 15 minutes time frame. 400 should be my entry point. So how I am selecting the entry point, don't confuse. It is a concept and it is not going to be discussed here. So how I am selecting the strike price is 400 rupees. Let me mark the 400 whether it is a valid trade or not. So valid trade or not, which you are going to planning with the breakout point when it is happening on the real market or by the opening market. So opening market means the opening itself it is triggers the level, it we don't consider that as a valid breakout. After the real market started after 9:30, if it is breaks that level, that should be a valid breakout. So where we got a valid breakout at this point around 10 o'clock, 10:15 after. So 400 rupees, and you know well where to keep a stop if it is a naked trade, and also you know well where to keep a target. And whether if you are applying 2.1 or 3.2 strategies or SBP strategies or F4 strategies, that also you know well. So the risk is small, and having edging benefit here, margin benefit also be added here because of you're doing an edging. Okay, so and this movement which is happening on those stock, and it was almost achieved our target in more than 900 rupees, from 400 to 900, more than 100% it increased. So how do I pick the stock and how do I pick the strike price, everything, where with this sheet and the based on the concept. And CDSL is the one more stocks, 131640. Let me check whether CDSL 1640 is the strike price, the second strike price, and I'm just going to try whether it is giving you an opportunity or not for my trading concepts. It should be another 140 rupees is the breakout point. Maybe this particular candle here, I talking about this is a not a valid breakout, because on 5th December by 9:15 to 9:30 it was giving you the breakout, and what should be our breakout points is around 140, but the first candle itself it moved higher than the entry point. We should always wait for the retracement to the level, or maybe goes down and recovered back. That I was focusing, but in this case that isn't happened. This is not a valid trade. So based on our concepts, Angel 1 2900 strike price, and this is what a free tool which we are using for our strategy, the Google sheet which you are talking about, and it is also be good. And it was what is the breakout point on this particular stock is something around 250, and 250 maybe here 10 o'clock, then it is triggered. But before that having good liquid, but after that it doesn't have a liquidity. But no problem if there is a stock which you are taken while it is liquid. When after that, if it is not trading as a liquid, but as per the intrinsic value, that trading place will happen. So current price of 592 and the strike price of 2900. So if you are checking the Angel One stock price, currently 3406. So let me calculate 3406 and 2900. So that strike price would be minimum 506 rupees IDM. That is in this 560 rupees should be the intrinsic value for that particular option. At least it should be trading on that particular price or more than that if you're having any time value. So let me check how much it is trading. 592 now. So almost 80 plus points having the time decay added here. But if you are placing a 506 rupees as a adder, it would be automatically executed. Even there is a gap between the buyer and seller also. Okay, there is a second stocks based on the concept which you have added here. And a lot of stocks is there, and I'm talking about a newer stocks, Policy Bazaar and CDSL 1640. It is a not a valid entry. BSE, that's a correct entry. And Max Wealth 980. Max Wealth 980. Sorry, Max Wealth. So based on the concept, how do I am finding out the stock? There is no liquidity. We are not taking out this, and something like Manappuram. It's a new one. KP Technology skipped 161380 or 1360. KPIT 1360. Let me check the call strike price. This is having good liquidity, but this is also 915. It was a gap up candle and it went up to 88. So on the 3rd December, but it doesn't have the pre-day data. So we are ignoring that. And let me check any other stock. Let me check a Manappuram 156 call option or 155. 155 would be the strike price. And let me check what would be the strike. And recently now it was not a liquid one, but previous to that it is having a good liquidity. And we try to find out almost 14 rupees is an entry point. Maybe here is the 14. After that it came down around 10 rupees, but it never triggered our stop loss. We know the stop loss. So such a kind of movement, edging will protect you, whether you are applying edging strategy or mm, directional strategy. You know, directional strategy is always be a plus or minus. Edging strategy, sometimes it will be protect us, even the opposite movement also happen. But and finally it went up. So now it is almost 22, maybe more than what we have expected, that is achieved. And this is what the list where we finding out. So having the good opportunity, but in the first 2 weeks we will be easily planning for a 3 or 4 stocks on a monthly basis. Same concept which is applied for a weekly basis. Those who are planning for a weekly trade, you can also trade with that. And but mainly the concept of a positional strategy or advanced option strategy course is for a positional one. Anyone who want to join and one-to-one session or a recording session both available. So if anyone want to more detail about the positional course, just ping me on the WhatsApp number shown on this video. And then now if this kind of thing, so you have to track a charting and with our monthly IV sheet, and then you can finding the strike price, finding the entry price, then finally you have to execute the trade. To fix this, we are creating the Google sheet. So it is about a faster tool. And let me check this month. So what are the stocks which you are talking about? Angel 1, BSE, IGL, VETL, CSE, CDSL. So these are all the opportunity. RBL Bank, KPI Tech, KIP Technology. So these are all the things which is here. And something like Jindal Steel, but the Jindal Steel is not there in the list, maybe in the bottom. Here is in, you can see Jindal Steel is there. But if you are tracking those, you will be easily finding out 640 call option on Jindal. Sorry, 910 Jindal. Yeah, 910 is the Jindal Steel strike price, where it is 52. Let me check. In this Google sheet, that tell you 910 call option is breaking out. So entry point also it is mentioned is 52.4. 52.4, that would be triggered by, I think, here only. This point around 1 o'clock 9th December, that is the last trading session, and today by 10th it has started gap up and almost 100 rupees from 52, double the premium. So this is what a valid entry which we can easily filter out here, and this sheet which helping you to finding out the enter strike price, entry price, and what is the current price. So that is the difference between the manual and this automated, but the strategy is different. And here is the breakout point. So where we got a 52.4 as an entry point at this point, at this level, and from there we can apply hedging strategies. You know the concepts of hedging concepts. Anyone you can apply, or you can go for a naked kind of call also, or even put also, whichever the trigger which is happening. So these are all the strategies which we are using to finding out by the calculative methods only. So not using any technical indicators or any other any other charting things which you are not using, purely the calculation, and that was working good. And mainly to find 3 to 5 stocks for a month positionally. Those who are really interested, you just ping me on my WhatsApp number to learn more about this advanced option strategy courses. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe the channel. Thank you.